Hi, this is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and today I'm doing the astrology for the second half of March 2023. And if I told you before, I'm going to tell you again, OMG. March has so many planets moving into different signs, into different stations, and it's like, oh my gosh, really kind of like our planetary energies start in March for 2023, and it's going to be amazing, and how it affects everybody is going to be quite different. So make sure that you are listening to all the planets and then letting me know like which planets are affecting you more than others, because there are a lot of planets that affect people that really don't affect everybody else. Sometimes we're just a little more sensitive, and so we are connecting with that energy in a little bit different way. So let's get started. Hi, my name is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman. I'm an intuitive psychic medium here in the Sugar Land area. That's just outside of Houston. I work with my angels and guides to assist my clients in many areas of their lives, to bring them special messages from loved ones who have passed, to dialogue with their angels for guidance into their own situation, or to assist them with their own psychic abilities. If you like my content, please make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. So let's get started with March 16th, 2023, and we have Mercury in the sign of Pisces squaring Mars in the sign of Gemini. So kind of the squares are all about kind of like restricting like energy and obstacles kind of coming up. So kind of like both of them are kind of like pushing at each other, like which one's going to win. And so Mercury, the planet of communication, in the sign of Pisces, which is intuitive and imaginative. So kind of like communication can be intuitive, it can be imaginative, but it may not be as clear as we would like it to be. Now, on the other hand, we have Mars, our planet of aggression and action and motion, all of that in the sign of Gemini, which is all about communication. So basically, our planet of war is in the sign of Gemini, of communication. So a lot of people are having war with words, and they will continue to have this until Mars moves out of the sign of Gemini. So on March 16th, this is not a great day for communication. This is not a day to call for a meeting with anybody. This is not that day. It's one of those people will be kind of snippy and snappy and kind of aggressive energy. I will tell you that these are going to be a few days around this time frame that people are going to be a little snippy, a little snappy, kind of blowing things out of proportion, kind of like, I'm willing to go to war over this, that Mars energy, and this communication isn't going well, whatever it is. So it's kind of like things are not going to be flowing as well as possible. But I will tell you too, it's kind of the best day to kind of keep your head down, get your work done, and not bother with anybody else. And if you can avoid a meeting, especially on March 16th, do it. Avoid it, especially when you're having to communicate or email. And I will tell you, emails on this day, March 16th, be cautious, be overly cautious, looking at your text message 2 or 3 times before you send it off. So this will kind of give you the best results. So also on March 16th, because March 16th is a very, very, very busy day. So we have Venus moving into the sign of Taurus, and Venus is all about this love and relationships and beauty and harmony, and it's moving into its home sign of Taurus. And this is going to kind of be bringing up a lot of pleasure for a lot of people. This is going to kind of keep these two signs together are going to be kind of ruling over the next couple of weeks, probably until around early April or so. This is going to be bringing in relationships into like a steadier energy. This is going to be very sensual, maybe a little sexual, kind of bringing up. So there, if your kind of relationship's been on the blitz, this is going to be kind of bringing that back up. And this is a great day to focus in on being together, bringing things together, and that love, that prosperity, and kind of being ready to positively impact what's going on. Also, on March 16th, we have Venus in the sign of Aries, squaring, this happens right before this, so it's kind of like squaring Pluto in the sign of Capricorn. So kind of those squares, we're talking about that as being restrictive and those obstacles coming up. These are our emotions are on fire today. It's like really crazy. This is kind of that rebellion energy. Capricorn kind of brings that a little bit of that rebellious energy, and then Pluto brings up kind of things that we want to hide, things that we want to move off to the side, kind of like, let's not hang on to this, because Pluto kind of brings up that rebirth or evolutionary energy. So it's kind of like, here we go. Venus is that planet of love, and this is kind of like bringing in very harmonic energy, and then Aries is going to fire everything all together, and it's going to be kind of like one of those, what is going to affect you today, because we still have more things going on the 16th. So emotions are going to be on fire. This is going to bring up a lot of rebellion, kind of like talking through things, or if you're trying to control a situation, you're going to find yourself under fire. It's one of those, there may be jealousy between like your home life and your work life. So there may be some jealousy there, like your work is taking too much time, or your boss is asking for too much this, or your family's, whatever it is, it's going to be a conflict on that day. And there's a strong possibility, if you're not really, really careful and walking like that fine line, of burning some bridges out. So make sure that you're really, really cautious on this day. Also, on March 16th, our sun is in the sign of Pisces, squaring Mars in Gemini. I know, it's all just like coming together. So that square is that obstacles and the restrictions in this. Our sun is our ego. Pisces is this intuitive, flowing, sensitive energy, very compassionate as well. In the sign of Mars and Gemini. And I've already talked about this many times, like Mars, the planet of war and aggression and motion, in the sign of communication. So war on words. And this is going to be a very stressful aspect that can leave us feeling kind of like underappreciated, like totally exhausted, kind of like no one's appreciating me for what I've done or what I'm going to do in my world. This can also kind of bring in kind of like a plan to kind of like work lighter, or kind of like I'm kind of sneaking out a little bit sooner because this is just too heavy and I've got to get energy in the right area. I've got to kind of lighten my load. This is also a day that could be really pushing our immune systems, of kind of like with that ego in play, of kind of like what's coming up next, how are things going to shift and change. And this is going to be bringing in a lot of like crazy energy. Also, on March 16th, I told you, we got a crazy one. March 16th, we have Mercury in the sign of Pisces, conjunct Neptune in the sign of Pisces. And the conjunction is all about like, how are we going to blend these two different energies together? So on one side, we have Mercury, communication. Pisces is that intuitive imagination, kind of sensitive energy. And how we're going to flow that together with Neptune. Neptune is our planet of dreams and illusions and mystical energy. And that is in the sign of Pisces as well. So it's kind of like the illusions, delusions, all that kind of stuff is like intuitive and moving forward and very imaginative. Like, how are these going to blend together? I will say this is a day that you're going to want to keep your head above water with both of them in Pisces. So kind of keeping your head above water. Pisces is all about the flow of water. Believe everything that someone tells you. It can be kind of drawing you in, or kind of drawing you kind of like to kind of connect with their energy in some different ways, but also keep your heart and your mind open and clear and ready to kind of make decisions. And am I believing what they're saying, or am I not believing what I'm saying? So this is going to be a very like, okay, here we go. Next, on March 17th, of course, St. Patrick's Day, we have Venus in the sign of Taurus, sextiling Saturn in the sign of Pisces. Sextiles are all about collaboration and kind of finding that flow of energy between the two. Venus, our planet of love and harmony, in the sign of Taurus, where it's going to feel really at home in this energy. Being steady is Taurus, being driven but patient, but kind of like trustworthy energy. trying to find its flow with Saturn, our planet of structure and restructuring energy, in the sign of Pisces, which is mystical energy, intuitive energy. And this is going to be, after a stressful week of kind of everything else that's been going on, this is going to kind of allow us to kind of chill out, relax a little bit, avoid drama, kind of chill out. The drama and the trauma have been on high for the last few days. And so this is one of those first days of like, let's take it easy. Now, I will tell you on a psychic note that March 17th has so much luck in play. I know, because it's St. Patrick's Day, and so everybody talks about their luck and how are things getting lucky and that sort of thing. So one of the things I will tell you is kind of the interesting part of this is to be really mindful of the luck that's in flow this day. And you can push it off to the side like I'm avoiding all of that luck, or you can bring it straight to you. It's up to you. So it's kind of like your words, your energy, you're going to be pushing that energy. Are you bringing that luck into you, or are you just letting it pass by? It's totally up to you, but it's up to you. Definitely. So let's move on to, move on to March 18th. We have Mercury in the sign of Aries, and kind of that Mercury is that communication, and Aries is a very fire sign of kind of like, let's burn things up, being brave and powerful, kind of like, let's move things, let's be assertive, and let's do this. Our world may feel like it's becoming like very bold and brash when Mercury enters a sign of the Ram, kind of like, boom, here we go, like this power. How are we going to change this? That assertive energy. And over the next couple of weeks, we will feel very direct with our energy, very direct with our communication. And it's kind of no, even if you don't like it, I have to say it anyway. I have to keep pushing this. Don't be afraid to ask for what you want. And I will tell you, adding a little like crazy energy there, just kind of like a little psychic side, is it's not what you say, it's the way in which you say it. And on the next few weeks with Mercury in the sign of Aries, it is even more important, because so many people are going to have that harsh energy. I want this and I don't want to take anything else. That is going to be bringing in some crazy energy for us and kind of really not allowing us to kind of move forward in this energy. But make sure that you're saying things with kindness and openness of kind of like, this is my decision, or this is what I'm thinking. What do you think? And asking for that energy back. Let's move to March 20th. We have our sun in the sign of Pisces sextiling Pluto in the sign of Capricorn. So sextiles are all about collaborations or moving together. And our sun is our ego. It's in the sign of Pisces, which is all about intuition and imagination and compassionate energy. Pluto is our transformation and our power planet, kind of our evolution. How are we changing? Capricorn is all about being driven and strategically kind of moving forward. And this is a powerful aspect, and it's going to bring in a lot of opportunities for us to kind of bring in success. As in a long-term situations, this is going to be following your dreams and your kind of like your heart's desire, your life purpose, kind of really pushing that energy. And this is a great day. March 20th is a great day to kind of really sit down and think about what you desire to bring into your life, and kind of just not just for today or March or April, kind of like, what do you want for 2023? What do you want for 2024, 2025? Like pushing that energy onward. Like, what is it that you really desire in your life? What are those energies that you really want to bring in to you now? Late on March 20th, we have our sun entering the sign of Aries. And this is really like a great day, kind of like our first day of spring, bringing in that spring equinox energy. Our sun is our ego, and it's going to be entering the sign of boldness, kind of like, what do we want to do? How do we want to celebrate? This is a great day for the next 4 weeks to kind of really influence ourselves with like great enthusiasm, pushing the courageous, compassionate energy. And what do we want to make changes to? Where do we want to go? Where do we want to put that bold energy into? This is going to be making some great changes for us. Next, on March 20th, we have our new moon in the sign of Aries. And the new moons are all about new beginnings or new starts and new whatever else is coming up. And so, like I said, over the last couple of days, it's kind of like, what's coming up? How are you changing your thinking and bringing this all together? What are you ready to start new? And that Aries is going to be kicking in with a great kind of like bold, brave energy. What are you going to be powerful enough to start? What is it that you're ready to start in this? And that sign of the ram of Aries is going to be pushing you to start new projects. It could be starting a new business. It could be starting new things, and take the leap of faith. This is totally like dive in. Allow yourself to become the main character in your life. What is it that you want? What is it that you really desire to bring into your life? This is going to be a great one. Let's move to March 22nd. We have Ceres, a great little asteroid going into retrograde energy in the sign of Virgo. This retrograde is going to add some extra stress to our lives. Ceres is all about entering that fretful sign of kind of like, are we sure this is what we want? Is this not what we want? Of Virgo for the next few weeks. And this can be marked with tension, a lack of routine, kind of things coming up. This could also bring a lot of anxiety over our health issues. What else do we want to bring in our health? How do we want to change things? And kind of like bringing up health issues that you're kind of like have been putting off for a while, and it's going to be coming up like, let's make this change. Let's move into this energy. So next on March 23rd, we have Pluto entering the sign of Aquarius. So Pluto, our planet of transformation, power, death, rebirth, and revolution. All of that moving in to our Aquarius energy, which is all about being intelligent, inventive, kind of new way of thinking, and friendly. But it also has a huge rebellion energy. So we have kind of like evolution and rebellion coming together. So it's going to be like, oh my goodness. This is going to kind of give us a sneak peek for most of the rest of the transit of the decade when Pluto enters Aquarius. So this is going to kind of give us that little sneak peek window of what's coming up next. When will we make an appearance this year, and then it'll move into that sign. And this is kind of take notes of the changes and what happens in our lives over the next few months as they set a tone for the next 20 years. I know, it's like, oh my gosh. Kind of that rebellious energy kind of coming in with that evolutionary kind of like, what are we ready to change and upgrade? It's going to give us a sneak peek for a period of time before it moves in there permanently, like I said, for the next 20 years. So allow this to come in and allow this to make some changes for yourself. Allow this energy to really amp yourself up. Okay, so let's go into March 25th. Mars enters the sign of Cancer. Finally, oh my gosh, finally leaving Gemini. Okay, the war planet, Mars, is all about this positive, moving forward, ambitious, warlike, warrior energy, kind of moving into the sign of Cancer, which is nurturing and supportive and healing. And this is going to give it a little bit of a compassion. And Mars has been in the sign of Gemini for quite a while, so almost like, I want to say like a year, a little over a year, because it got into the sign and then it retrograded and then it finished out that sign. So these are going to be bringing up kind of like issues on our family side, kind of bringing up different projects and different things that we haven't really thought through well. And I will tell you, this is going to be a very passive aggressive kind of energy. And those who love it, you know what I'm saying, love that passive aggressive energy are going to be like, yes, but I guarantee you it's not going to stay for long. So this is kind of a crazy insight of we're making some changes in all of this. Okay. Okay, let's go to March 27th. We have Mercury in the sign of Aries, conjunct Jupiter in the sign of Aries. So let's talk about this. Conjunctions are all about blending together those energies. Mercury, communication. Aries, bold, direct energy. Jupiter, luck, expansion, growth, abundance in the sign of Aries. Bold, powerful. So we're kind of like bringing these in. This bold Aries energy is going to kind of make us want to leapfrog today and kind of bring in some new stuff coming around ourselves, kind of some new areas in our lives that we really haven't been thinking about, and kind of looking optimistic of kind of like what's coming up next. How are we going to travel down this road? And what's coming up next for all of us. And this is going to be kind of bringing in that fearless with that Aries energy of like, let's take the road less traveled. Let's take the path that not everybody's done. So you're going to find people kind of going off on that, their own path, their own energy, and not staying with the status quo like, oh, we don't have to do what everybody else is doing. We can do our own thing. Okay, so let's talk about March 30th. We have Mars in Cancer trine Saturn in the sign of Pisces. And that trine is all about kind of like bringing the energies together, kind of bringing luck and opportunity to both sides. And so Mars is our planet of action and warrior. And it's in the sign of Cancer, which is all about being nurturing and supportive. Trining and kind of blending its energy together with Saturn, our planet of structure and law and restriction and discipline in the sign of Pisces, which is all about being intuitive and imaginative and kind of changing our energy. This is a very collaborative aspect. If you want to get people on the same page with you, this is a great day to do that appointment. Allows us to all work together and kind of achieve our common goal. Like, what is it? How is it going to be a win-win-win situation for everybody? Helping each other out, kind of moving each other forward. So this is a really great day to kind of get to everybody together on the same page. Next, also on March 30th, we have Venus in the sign of Taurus conjunct Saturn in the sign of Taurus. So conjunctions are all about blending the energies together or kind of showing each other off, kind of like how we're going to focus on this. Venus is our planet of love and nurturing and harmony in that stable sign of Taurus, about being steady and driven and moving forward, being very stable. Conjunct Uranus in the sign of Taurus. Uranus is that crazy, kind of eccentric, kind of like changeable, rebellious, reformative energy. Like, let's just change everything. It's okay. In the sign of Taurus. This is going to be a very spontaneous day for your love life. This is kind of a great day to change meetings. Take a chance with meetings and kind of change the insight and kind of spark what's coming up. Like, what is it that you really feel like you need to communicate? What is that energy that you really feel like you need to move into right now? I thank you so much for joining me today, and I know that we'll be talking again soon.